Hello traders, Gary Wagner here. Just about 1:30 in Honolulu, 6:30 in New York. It is Friday. Happy Aloha Friday as we say on the islands. It is the 19th day of February, 2021, and this is the Daily Report for gold and silver. We've got a different focus, as you can tell from our opening letter, because we have really decided to hone in on platinum. The opening letter will explain some of the fundamental undertones that give us the idea that there is room to the upside. And then when you look at our charts, you'll see the technical studies truly back it up. Let's take a look at today's show. Traders, an interesting conclusion to a week filled with volatility. All of the precious metals that are traded in the futures complex did close higher on the day, and that was all aided with dollar weakness. April gold, $17.8240. That's up $7.40. We are currently flat, both Forex and futures gold trades, but we will look at the chart in just a moment. There are clearly some easy observations to make in the current state of gold. When we look at current pricing, which is at $17.8310, was up about $8.10, but in terms of a bullish mode, what we did see is it opened above and closed above the 50-day moving average. The second thing is we have somewhat of a double bottom in this area. However, that does not outweigh the negatives in terms of our technical indicators, and those have to do with, first, the moving averages. We did get this death cross right here, in which the 50 has now moved under the 200, and most importantly, they appear to be widening, and that can signal lower prices ahead. And so for that reason, we remain flat with no active trades. Our first real level of resistance, and it really is based upon a single bottom in the market, as well as it being a key psychological level. And that is this low that came in right here. But when we look at the big picture, we have to acknowledge that we have had a series of lower lows. We have also had a series of lower highs, and that means we are fully immersed still in a bearish scenario. However, traders, we do have open positions in silver futures, silver forex, as well as the electronically traded fund SLV. We are looking at March silver futures, $27.34, putting it up almost a full percentage point, or a net gain of approximately 26 cents. And traders, it is quite obvious to see that there is a unique and distinct difference with the price movement of silver when compared to gold. First of all, we are in full bullish alignment. What I mean by that, we have the 200-day below the 100-day, which is below the 50-day. Secondly, we are trading above what was a level of resistance right here at approximately 25.75. We have made a stab, and it was unsuccessful at 30, and we have seen sideways trading activity, but I believe that that is a market in consolidation. And when we look at other technical indicators that we find useful, one of them is the MACD, moving average convergence and divergence. When we do that, we can see, first of all, it is by its nature a lagging indicator, but we can see how when we hit this top here, that also corresponded to some highs that came in before the market dropped. If we look at the beginning of October, what we can see is that was a series of lows here. Although it took a long time to pick up steam, it did trade as 28. Right now, we're really in mid-ground. We are neither oversold nor overbought, but we are certainly consolidating. Another technical study that we use quite frequently to forecast where we believe price might go in a given rally or correction is, of course, Elliott Wave theory. According to our current count, we had this high that occurred back in August when silver hit 30 as the conclusion of a third wave. We went down to these lows right here in December. That was the end of a fourth wave. We are currently in a fifth wave, and even though we're consolidating, we are forecasting that we could hit anywhere between $33 and $35. That's the call of the get system. My system looks at about $32 to $33 as our upside target. And traders, the last study I do want to look at in silver futures is simply to take a quick look at volume. We can see we had a tremendous spike in terms of volume in the beginning of February. It has absolutely slowed down just a little bit, and that makes sense because what we're witnessing is this sideways pressure. I simply do believe it's consolidation, and I believe that as long as it holds, call it 25.75, we will see silver make a play for $30 per ounce. Spot gold also gained approximately 1% and is up 23 cents at $27 and approximately 23 to 26 cents. The iShares Silver Trust is a trade we have been active in for quite some time. We entered at two separate price legs. Currently, we are fixed at 25.26, putting it up about 0.8%. And traders, with the exception of leverage, because obviously futures contract has major leverage and the SLV or iShares does not, what we can see is how closely these two markets are tracking, meaning the electronically traded fund and the futures contract. As you know, we entered a March silver position at 27.36. The market is at 27.37, so we're just a little bit above that. Our stop continues to be at 25.98. In terms of our Forex, we got in at 27.26. Stop also 25.88. Now, when we look at our SLV, the first leg we entered at 22.95, stop 21.95. The second leg was at 24.60. And as you can see from the ETF, the iShares Silver Trust, we are currently at 25.26, which means that both legs are in profit. Maintain SLVs, maintain your current long futures and Forex silver positions. And before we cover platinum, I have to talk about Bitcoin. A historical climb this month, making it the greatest single month climb in the history of this cryptocurrency. For more information and a detailed analysis, click the Bitcoin button at the top of the screen, and there Joseph Wagner has a series of articles. And as we have spoken about over the last week or so, and the focus of today's opening letter is platinum and palladium, we did recommend initiating long positions in platinum futures. We're looking at April at 1285.20. We are in at 1282. We'll look at a couple of charts right now. The first chart that I do want to look at is simply comparing silver futures to platinum futures. And what is remarkable is even with silver's dramatic rise, you can see that here, corrected a little bit and then moved back up. We went basically parabolic in platinum. Lastly, I want to take an extremely long-term look at platinum futures because platinum futures hit its all-time record high between 2008 and 2009, and in terms of the record itself, it came in at around 2,300. Now, since then, palladium has taken that over, and to think that palladium was trading at around $100 roughly at that same time is something that's difficult to wrap our heads around. But what is most important to me on this chart is when we look at the activity of 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. The entire last year, we have seen 4 consecutive quarters in which we saw platinum move from $700 up to its current pricing at $1,200. Now, where could it go? My first level of really strong resistance doesn't really come until about 1,500. There is another level that comes in at around 1,700, and then this top here, which comes in around 1,900. In other words, my belief is that there is a lot of room to the upside for platinum to continue to move. This would be Gary Wagner wishing you, as always, good trading. We will talk to you next week for the next daily update and review. Bye-bye.